Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and remember, Context is Everything Media Network founder and CEO is reading another textbook, and my name is John Michael. The CIEMN Network, Context is Everything Media Network, Unit 2, Section 3, The French Explorers of the New World. This book is from 1940. This book was published in 1940. This is old information on an old topic. So, really, it should be up to date when you think about it, right? The French Explorers. French interest in the New World. The explorers for Spain and for England had made successful voyages to the New World. French sailing vessels came to North American banks to fish. A shallow place in the water where fish live is often spoken of as a fishing bank. The cool, shallow water of the Atlantic Ocean near the coast of North America are excellent fishing banks. The French people became interested in the lands across the Atlantic Ocean. The King of France was anxious to add to his glory. Spain, France, and England at this point were great rivals. Each nation wished to be more powerful than their neighbors. France was eager to send explorers to the New World. She did not want her rivals, Spain or England, to have all the glory. She, meaning the nation. I believe they use the feminine to refer to the nation. John, you're going to like this, John Verrazzano. Sounds Italian to me. An Italian under the flag of France. Well, there you go. The King of France fitted out a ship for a voyage to the New World. I'll tell you, lots of Italians. In the British section, they talk about an Italian, John Cabot. In the French section, they talk about Italian, John Verrazzano. Americus Vespucius, Italian. Christopher Columbus, Italian. These Italians aren't getting enough respect, I'll tell you. John Verrazzano was made captain of the ship. He was experienced Italian seaman. The ship commanded by Verrazzano reached the coast of North America. Verrazzano and his men explored along the coast. They traveled from what is now North Carolina to Newfoundland. Notice on the map on page 62 that this was a long journey along the coast. Some people think that this may have been the first ship to sail into New York Harbor. Later, France based her claim on part of North America on the explorations of John Verrazzano. Now here's a French name, Jacques Cartier. A search for westward passage. Many people in Europe believed that a passage across America could be found. This is often spoken of as the search for westward passage. The nation which could find a route across America to the east would become wealthy. There was a profitable market in Europe for rich products of the east. The King of France ordered Jacques Cartier to go in search of a passage across North America. Jacques Cartier was an experienced seaman. Sometime he may have sailed to the east by route of around Africa. He may have sailed to fishing banks off the coast of Newfoundland. Jacques Cartier was ambitious. He was anxious to find a westward passage to the east. He was thrilled when the king commanded him to make the voyage to America. Preparing for the journey. Jacques Cartier was a good Catholic. He knew how to prepare for a journey. I don't see the connection. He received the sacrament of penance. Then he attended Holy Mass and received Holy Communion. He was well prepared before he sailed from France. I would hope that he also had ample provisions and a loyal crew, aside from the Lord on his side, which is important. The soul of Jacques Cartier was filled with zeal as he faced westward. He was eager to have the knowledge of God spread to the New World. That's why Cartier is said to have been a zealous man. The expedition. Jacques Cartier steered his ship due west. He reached the shores of Newfoundland, and then he and his men explored along the coast. They discovered a great gulf, a large body of seawater extending into the lands called... a large body of seawater expanding into the land is called a gulf. The gulf is sometimes spoken of as an arm of the sea. Cartier named the gulf as he discovered the Gulf of St. Lawrence. He made the discovery on the Feast of St. Lawrence. Good Christian. Cartier took possession of the land bordering the Gulf of St. Lawrence and named in the name of King of France. Then Cartier and his men sailed back to France. They were anxious to tell the king about what they had accomplished. The second voyage. The next year, Jacques Cartier made another voyage to New World. Cartier discovered the great river flowing from the Gulf of St. Lawrence. He named it the St. Lawrence River. Cartier thought that at last he had discovered the westward passage. He sailed up the St. Lawrence River on an exploring trip. The trip up the St. Lawrence River was an interesting one. Cartier and his men saw small Indian villages where the city of Quebec is now located. They sailed up the river. Farther up the river, they saw another Indian village. It was on an island. This village was well protected because it was surrounded by water. Behind this village was a high hill. Cartier claimed this hill. He called this place Montreal, which means Royal Mountain. Study the map on page 62. Trace Cartier's journey up the St. Lawrence River. Note the location of the two Indian villages which Jacques Cartier discovered. Okay, so he sailed up the St. Lawrence. He's a Frenchman. He found Quebec. He found Montreal. They speak French. This is all starting to make sense. Jacques Cartier. Disappointment. Jacques Cartier wished to make a settlement somewhere along the St. Lawrence River. Cartier knew that a settlement would strengthen a claim to France to this land. The weather was very cold. Some of the men died. This was a very sad experience. Cartier was so disappointed that he planned to return to France. Jacques Cartier felt that he had made 3 failures. 1. He failed to find westward passage to the east. 2. He failed to establish a French settlement in America. And 3. He failed to spread the Catholic religion. French claims in America. Jacques Cartier felt a personal disappointment about his voyage. France profited by his journeys, though. The exploration by Cartier gave France her claim to the St. Lawrence Valley. "75 years later, France began settlements in New France. Land is claimed by the men who discovered it. They claimed it in the name of the country for which they are laboring. When land is explored, it strengthens the claim. When settlements are made, the claim is more or less final. It is well remembered in these steps: discovery, exploration, settlement. Goodbye.